Hey guys, Asian here again with another dungeon guide video. This time we're going to be doing Elden Hollow 2. I'll be tanking, Say Levi is healing, Mr. Say and Reaper are our damage dealers. One thing to note for this dungeon, the final boss does have a lot of fire, and then at some point that fire is going to become unavoidable, so if you are a stage 4 vampire, I would highly recommend resetting your vampirism for this dungeon. Alright, we're going to start off again. We're just going to skip through all the trash mobs, and after explaining the boss mechanics, we will then skip past the rest of the boss fight as well. In this room is where you're going to face off against the first boss. It comes with a lot of ads. You cannot pull the ads without aggroing the boss. The boss is the giant Daedroth there. Tank's job is going to keep and hold aggro on the boss while the DPS burn down the rest of the ads. The boss fights pretty much like any normal Daedroth. Does a lot of light attacks that don't hit very hard. There's only one attack that he does that's particularly dangerous. He was going to do it there, but decided not. There it is. He will breathe fire like any normal Daedroth. However, that fire will also freeze you in place, so you need to use break free to get out of that fire if you are caught in the cone. Other than that, it's just a normal tank and spank kind of boss once the ads are dealt with. Once you finish that boss, there's going to be a little bit of downtime before the second boss spawns from that dark portal. This is Darkroot. She has one mechanic you have to be particularly aware of. At one point she's going to glow, and once that glow is done she will cast a light beam down on a random person. You saw that right there. Second mechanic is she will summon those two beetles. One is blue, the other is green. You can kill those beetles and they will drop a Magicka Spring and a Stamina Spring, color-coded respectively. If you stand in those springs, you will it'll double your Magicka or Stamina pool depending on which spring you stand in. So if you're a Magicka user, you want to stand in the Magicka Spring. If you're a Stamina user, you want to stand in the Stamina Spring. Once we fight past these ads, we're going to see the next boss. This boss doesn't have any special attacks, but it does summon particularly troublesome ads. You'll see in the back, I'm not sure if you can see that, but that is a silhouette of a person. Those silhouettes will cast a fear-like ability on a person. Basically, you will see a red line appear between that silhouette and the player it's targeting, and you can see it there. It basically drags you around randomly. Not a big deal for this fight, but they will reappear again on the final boss fight, and they can prove quite troublesome. General idea is for the one DPS to focus on the boss, the other DPS should focus down the silhouettes. You can use break free to get out of the fear of the silhouettes. If you have the stamina to do so, I would recommend doing so, but do keep an eye on your stamina pools. After you fight off a couple of trash mobs, you're going to see a giant black portal. You're going to have to face off against a ton of ads at this point. If you have any AoEs, definitely try using them here to burn down as many ads as you can. Don't be surprised if you wipe. You will see in this sped up part we actually do wipe on this portal section. Right there, we see we all wiped. You do not have to start the portals all over again if you do happen to wipe though. Once you get to the next big room, you'll have to step through this portal here in order to get to the next boss. No ads on the first platform here. Head to the right and you'll see 3 ads. You will need to take out those 3 ads before the next boss will spawn. They're not particularly tough though. I'll skip past this part. Once you take out the ads, the boss will spawn. This boss has a very counterintuitive mechanic. Traditionally, the idea in dungeons is red means dead, so you want to take it out of the red circles, but in this case, you will see soon, this boss basically turns that mechanic completely on its head. So in this phase of the fight, the red circles, you do want to avoid them. At several points during the fight, the boss will turn the room dark, and those red circles will glow with a bright light. You're going to want to step into those circles to avoid the damage. Once you see the flash of light, you need to step out of those circles again, because those circles will become red as soon as that phase is over. And then the boss will summon more red circles randomly around the room. Just got to keep in mind where those circles are and step into them once he turns the room dark.
I always thought it was pretty intuitive, but
it is possible to heal through this on normal. I have not tried to heal through this on veteran, but I'd imagine if with a good enough healer, you should be able to heal through this phase.
And then out.
Once you finish that last boss, you get to this phase, and there'll be two portals opening, one in front of you, one behind you. They will continue to drop adds. Just like before, just stay aware. Healer should stay in the center. Tank can go wherever. Two DPS should split up and take out the adds that come out of the portals. When a lurcher comes, the tank should take the aggro on that. Once you're done, push onward to the next boss. This boss just creates red circles on the ground. Nothing too special. I don't believe he moves from that spot. When he raises his staff like that, he's creating red circles on the ground. They're might be difficult to see just due to the nature of the ground. He will also do a fear attack. You can use break free out of that, or that might be one of the adds. DPS should burn down the adds and then focus on the boss. Just keep in mind where the red circles are on the ground. Skip through the boss. Go through the portal, down this walkway, and you'll find the final boss. If you're doing hard mode, scroll is right there, right next to it. You can safely read it without pulling aggro on the boss.
Probably from Elemental Wall, which is going to make
There you go.
about 15% DPS. A monster set, even some of the.
And we're going to skip ahead. We're just talking strategy in this section, as this is Mr. Say's first time. So this boss has a couple of mechanics. He will breathe fire on the tank. You see those dark bodies from the Twilight fight. They do the same mechanic. They'll pull you around. And you see there, he will breathe fire down, rain fire onto all members of the party and create those fire circles. Those fire circles will continue to stay on the ground until he does a jump attack. So when he does that animation, he is raining fire down upon you. You're going to want to move out of wherever you are. The tank can fairly safely stand in the fire. When he jumps up, he will do his ground pound attack. You should block through that. And when he does that move, he will clear out all the fire in the arena. As his health goes down, he will create more and more of the fire. At some point, they will be very, very difficult to avoid the fire, which is why I recommended resetting vampirism. On hard mode, you will see the bright silhouettes, the white silhouettes. Those will heal the boss. There will be no more than 2 on the field at a time. The idea is for one of the DPS to burn down one of the white silhouettes. The tank should find the second one and bash them. You can't interrupt that healing beam. And once the first healing spirit is down, the DPS can then focus on the second one. Once you kill this boss, your ally will do some fancy ritual and summon a portal. You can take that portal, that'll bring you right back to the beginning, where you can hand in the quest and finish up your dungeon. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope this guide helps. I will see you guys at the next dungeon.